for itself. Down. So thank you, Father, for knowing that you create all things. You created these men, these things to myself, my son, and my daughter, and others within this community, and I'm sure many others have attempted murder. You know, hitting somebody in the face with a grenade is not something that's just. There's a proper way to execute a warrant. So, dang, hold on, buddy. There's something called a Sixth Amendment. They're gonna criminally try you. They have to give you a fair trial and a speedy trial, and it's your Sixth Amendment. Title 18 are the criminal statutes if they're going to charge you, whether federally at a state or in this case it's the county, but the state of whoever's charging you. So 98.5% of cases don't go to trial. So they're not, there are lawsuits and things that happen, but most of the time people just take it deep, take a bargain, an agreement for a gain for the bar, the plea. Please accept my agreement to gain the bond number, the treasury that's sold on the stock exchange, my merchant number, and please extort that. So I'll plead to the courts that I'm this capital letter straw man and all this nonsense. So there's a reason they do what they do to people like me, because they don't want people like me to let this truth be known. And it's not so much how much you know, it's more, this is the word knowledge, or bathos, or busos is the word Greek word for knowledge. They don't care how much you know, how much you care. There's a difference. So the reason why some channels are shadow banned and some get to run wild and free like girls gone wild, if you will. So I took an oath to the Constitution as a law enforcement pig, prior veteran in the military, 95 Bravo. I don't stop serving they must have done a good job, because I don't like the military. I don't like the country. And all right, maybe we'll yeah, thankful. Yeah, thankful. Stick a camera in these pigs' face, film interaction with law enforcement. They're thugs, and they're not accountable most of the time. They don't want you to film them, but they have most of the time. They don't want you to film them, but they have no right to expectation of privacy when they're operating in a community or public service. So, nope. If they're in a public place, a public space, you can film them, and we all should film them every single time, every single interaction. I get to know when they're messed up, doing legal things. Cops go to jail every day. Judges get disbarred, and district attorneys and attorneys. All these things happen. It's not a perfect world we live in, So, but I'm either going to go to prison for a long time, or I'll be a very wealthy man. One of the two, and I don't want any money. So I have a sneaking suspicion that I don't believe I'll be the one going to prison. So we'll see what Father has planned for me, because if he wants men to throw me in prison, then that's what's there. I've been in. Oh, darn it. That's my power. So I thank Father for the blessing just to be here and standing still. I shouldn't be able to articulate a sentence. And yeah, so all glory to Shiloh, all glory to the Most High to be able to articulate still and be able to even have vision out of my right eye. And although my hearing is robotic sounding and my eye is marked with, big blotch or whatever this is, from the grenade to the face, I'm still standing here, and Father must not be done with me yet. So 10 months after, yes, all glory to the Most High, all glory to Shiloh, all glory to the King. Yes, he sprang out of Judah. He was the lion, right? From Judah, from the house of David, born of Bethlehem, the King. So thankful to still be here, and Father will write the condemning of this men. I have no vengeance and seek no vengeance towards these tyrant pigs, and their excessive force would be the very least. I have all the training that these SWAT officers, I have been through all this SWAT training, but I never threatened violence towards any man. For 240 some hours, I asked them to call me, come to the gate. And for years prior, I had already tried to get a call from the state of Oregon and from the tyrant federal alphabet soup, whatever agency wanted to call me. It didn't matter. I called from the top of the Department of Jackasses or Jackoffs, whatever they are. Justice, there ain't no justice. You might want to look into this current case. Or you got the Federal Bureau of Idiots, imbeciles at the bottom of the barrel. I don't care which Central Intelligence of assholes. They're all a bunch of alphabet soup agencies is what they are. And they're just a corporation. They're part of the corporation corp. And this doesn't, I don't give any, it's not constitutional. These things, anything that's not been adjudicated, legislated, executive, House, Congress, Senate. We have a House, and for a reason, our senators, our congressmen, the Congress makes the law, not the president can't by executive order make laws. That's not constitutional. So if it hasn't been adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate, our executive branch, our House, our Congress, our Senate, that's not constitutional, and therefore the Constitution says it's repugnant, and we're not supposed to follow laws that are repugnant to the Constitution. So people are blind as a bat, I guess. It doesn't matter. These constitutional rights are protected by the federal government, not there to make laws, but to protect the inalienable, natural, organic color of law, black, so whatever. These are laws, Constitution. There's a reason why it's one nation under God, and but the God they speak of on the back of the dollar is probably not the same God that you might think that you are referring or probably go after. There's more than one, many gods, many Christs, more than one Jesus. These people are lame, idiots, unskilled, uneducated, uncertified, untrained. They don't have any knowledge of bis. They lack it, no bis at all. So therefore, they're an idiot, which is the word idiotos, and that has the same meaning as the word ignorant or ignoramus. And idiotos are the same thing. It means you're lame and unskilled and uneducated. You've not received any you have no understanding in the matter whatsoever, so you cannot be held accountable for being an idiot. Yet, if you call most people an idiot in this day and age, they get very offended because they don't define. Definition is everything. So, like the word criminal, crime, that is a word of accounting. Anybody do Anybody do bookkeeping? People always run away when I start talking numbers. They don't like. How about it? You have a spiritual calculator? You heard that term before? All right. Anyways, it's just adding up. You tell me. But so either way, Father creates all things, so nothing is happening by chance. There's no such thing as luck. There's no such thing as free will. Can't be saved. God don't love everybody. Most people go to hell. Let's get that all out of the way real quick. So if any of you got some idea and you're some religious idiot, we'll get you out of here real quick, or we'll show you to the narrow way. You know, that's what this channel and this ministry is about. So irregardless, I try to teach what it is that I've been taught and shown and know, and share that light with others, because I have to do that, or the blood is on my hands, because I'm a watcher, I'm a messenger. I come with the gospel, and I don't bring it light. I bring it with the fire, eyes of fire. He said, what aircraft can return to the junkyard? Uh-oh. They should all this military outside our borders is against this new covenant. So take them all and do with you will. I have no skin in the game anymore. I don't fight. My battles are not against flesh or blood, right? So, but how about the old Ronald Reagan? Huh? Is that what the one, the old Ronnie? Uh-oh. But how about the wah, 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 the old JFK file release? Wasn't that a big dud? Yep. Big old nothing burger. Oh, I thought that's exactly what it was going to be. So, yeah, JFK is Donald Trump. So, in case you didn't know, they're all on the same team. All cheeks to the same hole. Yeah, I know you're battling cockamamie. Got something up your got a lightsaber up your ice hole there, Tiger Woods. Maybe some Nimrod stick. All right. He's like, I got the magic stick. All right. We got 50 Cent up in here. Up in here. All right. Let's keep it between the lot. Hados, narrow is the way. Keep it between the ditches. Broad is the way, actually, that leads to the Broadway. You ever notice they have a main street and a broad in a Manhattan, or a MLK, speaking of JFK, or a Main, or a Broadway, and all these big city Manhattan, big New York. Broad is the way that leads to hell, through the wide gate. That's where most people go, to hell. And it's not a place. It's not a space. Space is not something north above your head, so you know. If you're one of these idiots who thinks space is to the north of your cranium, you're watched too much television. You've been told lies. You must have gone to public school. You got schooled, stung. Did you see the old dragon hooked to the International Swim Station? I mean, Space Station. What the hell was that? Was a joke. What a bunch of debauchery. That's not even, it's 5785, and you'd think they could, you know, with all the, you know, obviously, you know, look at all the digital imagery we have today. They blur the light, and they come up with some they just were mocking people, laughing. A lot of people bid on it too. The old dragon clink to the link to the ring, whatever that was, the cock ring, whatever it sound they try to make, somebody banging something on some metal dresser drawer. I don't know what that was. That was here we go with our fisheye lens again. Oh yeah, you do any kind of reconstruction, you do math, you know, algebra, you know, geometry. Let's do some basic geometry. Do you know the lander and the rover? The rover, you know, the rover will not fit inside the lander. You remember, it's just basically a Jeep is basically what it was. You know, it's not like the wheels. You could debunk the whole, we landed on a light, or whatever you want to call it, lunar tick. But Yeah, they don't add up. So what are you going to do about that? You want to explain the occurrence of air bubbles in the lunar waves? How come we never see any stars in the background? Huh? NASA, you like to explain that? Not a space agency, not a straight answer, whatever. NASA, we know what that stands for. But anyways, what a debauchery here. We're supposed to be debunking the SWAT team, and we're talking about I was there, man. I was on the moon. I was on the dark side. I went and had some Pink Floyd, Roger Waters, and then the dam breaks open many years from soon. See you on the dark side of the moon. He was there. Yeah, I know. You had a buzz. I knew it exactly. Yep. You and Stanley Kubrick, right? So, isn't it that funny? That's like they told you you got stung by the spelling bee. You didn't get, you spelled curses in cursive, and they told you we went to the moon, and you landed on that, didn't you? It's in your head. You believe. I believe I could fly. I believe I could touch. You know what? F Elon Musk. This stupid idiot said we lost the technology, but I got all this stuff to. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't even. That's Mr. Giannis, Mr. Trump's buddy behind lightsaber. You know, they stick their lightsabers in their ice holes. Levi. Yeah, your whole life is a lie. You're a demon, which is a distributor of lies to others, and you're an idolater, which means you believe your own bullshit. So it's the golden age. It's 25, right? Get out of here, child. You didn't land on no light. You couldn't even land. You couldn't even hit the toilet. You listen with your piss ring everywhere. Get your piss out of here. You stink. You smell like urine. Yep, you're gonna get out of here if you don't, or we'll have you moderated because you smell like you stink. The high heavens not above your head. Space. There's no such space, idiot. Grow up, child. Grow up, child. Nanu, 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 nanu. Stop jerking yourself and playing somebody you're not. You're just an actor like Buzz. Then you remember? We're just pilots on a plane. Remember? He came out fine. They can't lie forever, right? So, anyways, what a bunch of idiocracy. Anybody believes this stuff, you know, I got beachfront property in Arizona for you, right? Or whatever that is. What are you doing? You're sitting right where you shouldn't be with your big old head. Sorry, my puppy. I apologize. I'm not sorry for anything. My puppy's here whining at me. I think he needs to unask the AO. Give me a minute or three. If you don't knock. Go! Go! Yeah, we'll let you out. You want to go outside? You want to go out there and do this? All right, so whatever. We're not doing no stinking. All right, so I'll just my head and laugh at the stinky muskrat's going to go to war. I mean Mars, and that's where we're at right now. Just in case you ain't figured out, this is what just racking today with weather. Of frozen global of global warming good. All right, we'll leave the stream. I don't know what it is. It's probably just that I have this 4G phone and I will not do the 5G whiz. And there has been some energy coming, solar energy coming from our sun. So we'll see if it stays up. If not, we'll start her back up, or we'll just call her a night. Jimmy Crack Corn. I already have my proof. I just stack in more discovery. You know what discovery is? Right of discovery and suppression of evidence means there is no limit to discovery in a trial. Sixth Amendment. try you in a trial. Title 18. These are all part of the criminal statute. Title 18, original, adjudicated through the House, Congress, and Senate. Anything else revised is code. Criminal code. Criminal is actually aimed in accounting. Remember, as I said, but code is for a corporation, and you're a part of it. You're a corp. You're a citizen, and you are operating in commerce, and you're a merchant. Number is assigned to you at birth under this corporation, where the head of the corporation can make executive orders like Mr. Vomit 44, who made 923. Remember that number is extremely important. Yeah, that's why this channel is the only one talking about it, but that's okay. Maybe that's why it is shadow banned, but that's fine. Father chooses to who does what to who, and he wrote all things, so take it up with Father, the Most High, right? Not upset at anybody. Do I look upset? No, I'm not upset. I'm defined. You know what defined is? Definition. That is the truth, Jack. That's a fact. Factual. Like fiction or non-fiction, huh? Are you telling me stories here, or are you telling me lies? Are you telling me we landed on the moon? Huh. Interesting. Theory. Dragon. Remember they call this new thing the Dragon? Landed on the ISS. The Dragon, huh? Dragon? Oh, it's going to give its power and authority to the Dragon. Yeah, that's what Mr. Trump's going to do with all this divided corporation after he adds to the corporation. Remember, they want to make America Greenland again. They want to make a 51st state of Canada, because Canada, we don't need their oil. Nah. They've been getting us an unreal rate on it for how many, decades now? About 80 plus, almost 90% of the paper products in this corporation comes from the Canadian forest to the north. And yet, oh, yeah, we don't need those paper products in America. We don't need all the, we do get medicine. Oh, we don't need Canada. Oh, Canada loves us. They want to be the 51st state of America. Get out of here. We've already taken over Mexico. You're just late to the party. Yeah, the year of the snake, which is the dragon, which is the serpent, which is Nakash, which is the viper with the hood, which is the halo. Halo, like the porthole. If you see an image, any warrants of imagery with somebody with a halo over their head, that's not a good thing. That's a devil. Yes, that is a demonion. The hood, the Canaanite, the serpent, Leviathan in the garden. You knew I was a snake before you let me in. Remember, he was already there before Adam and Eve, before Father had ever created man and woman. Adam and Eve. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, never mind. Just go back and read it. It's in the book of Genesis. It's right in the beginning. It's not very hard. It's right in the beginning was the word. All right. Thank you for the Alatia. Once again, the truth. And so the truth is what's going to come out. Will these rogue, tyrant, pig, thug, SWAT team, Oregon State Police, who did zero investigation, or they just didn't care. Maybe they had a different agenda, and that's what the evidence shows. They came to kill me, murder me, shut me up at any cost, and it didn't work out like they thought. And here I am standing nearly almost a year after that incident where they SWAT raided this ministry. So Silver Rock Ranch just pummeled it, shot the windows out, hit me in the face, shot my son, kidnapped my daughter. This is a real incident. This ain't everything's so fake. What is this crap online so much now? Everything is this skit where everybody just this the fakest, stupidest stuff that doesn't even have anything to do with anything. And I watch it sometimes. I'm like, they got me. You did it. You know it. I'm guilty. What did I just watch that for? Knew it wasn't going anywhere. Yeah, it doesn't mean nothing. People just put out just the stupidest things that lead to nothing. And I try not to watch too much of it, but you gotta skim a little bit, right? So what a bunch of an apostasy. Like I said, there's very little aletheia, truth in this realm. Time, place, and space is not above your head. So if you're one of these people who are in that realm, get out of my space. Jerky, ham. What was that person saying earlier? I don't know what they were talking about. Look at the dogs already want back in. Wanting to get out, wanting to get in. Man, I don't need a wife. I got a girlfriend here. Well, or a girlfriend, because I got a dog that keeps me busy on my toes. Thank you, Father, for that. I got 2 puppies. So we got some chickens back out here too. So like, yeah, we got some green eggs. Got our first, we got laid, right? We got birds out here. So they laid us some eggs. And thank you, Father, for farm fresh green eggs and tri-tip. I don't eat ham. I don't eat pork. So you could eat all the pork you want. It's not what goes in a man. It's what comes out of them. Because the Most High, He don't dwell in houses made by hands. Temples. It's not about the flesh. Hold on, I gotta go let in my wife. I don't need a wife. I get screwed by the government every day. Ha 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 ha. You guys are in and out, in and out, in and out. You are more like having kids. You're more like having some kids. You are my kids. You're my kids. My best kids I ever did have. These are my guys. These are my guys. Be careful. Oh, he's gonna come lay with the dad. Can't see this pretty good here, but him's with the dad. Him's with the dad. It's my big old guy. My big old guy. Yes, I love him. He's a big old guy. Oh, stop giving him kisses. That's silly. Stop it. You guys are goofy. You're a goofy. That is relax mode right there. You think he's got a thing for the dad? Oh, he's a handsome guy. He's a handsome old guy. He's a big guy. He's a big old large size puppy. He's an extra large guy. Oh, there's a good guy. Oh, there's a guy. All right. The other one is Yachter Boy. So, oh, he needs some love from the dad. Oh, this is a big guy. And Pants is a big bone. He's a big guy too. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. My good kids. All right. I love my dogs. Thankful for puppies. The state of Oregon would have shot my dogs if I would have left the door open. So thankful that I still had enough wits about me after being hit in the face and tear gas with 5 tear gas downers still to shut the door. No, Yachter Boy, you put your paws down. He's trying to give me shakes. He's trying to give me shakes. He's trying to give me shakes. They're like love taps on the top of the heads. Or it's like the love taps. Oh, they're like the love taps. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're a good boy, Mr. Bonds. Mr. Boy. All right, yes, thankful for still be here, still have my dogs, that they're back in shape. They had to go through all that crap too, so thankful that I'm still here today and be able to have conversation with you and still able to share the word. I have a strong hunch that when the evidence gets looked at in any kind of court, whether it's federal or it doesn't matter, it's going to be lawsuit will be filed unless these people back down. I'm not seeking any vengeance, but accountability for the rogue SWAT team and the state of Oregon needs to be accountable for their excessive force. You can't hit somebody in the face with a grenade. There was no threat to anybody. Nobody. It was less than 45 seconds into the live stream or something like that. There was the concern was for my son's safety and well-being, and whether he was what was going on with him. I'd just been woken up and overheard what I thought was this police, but my concern is my son. I'm a dad, and I took care of him for over 8 years as a single parent, and so my instinct doesn't end when my taking care of him doesn't stop. He is the only child that I have, and so his well-being is what I was concerned about. To be hit in the face with a grenade for asking if my son is okay is going to either land this case or they'll stand down, because there's an excessive amount of other violations of my Sixth Amendment, my Miranda rights, speedy trial, fair trial, just a co-counsel. My son's attorney represented me in the same case, which is illegal. Each defendant has to have a different attorney. There's just a massive amount of violations. So again, either they'll stand down here within this week, or hopefully the attorney will. He already knows what it is I've instructed him to do. So if he doesn't do it, then I'll move on, and I'll not move on. I'm just gonna move forward with this civil lawsuit and not give him a chance to sign, and then just 100% take it to trial. So yeah, we're not trial, lawsuit. There will be no trial. I'm not taking this to trial. It'll get tossed out of anybody who looks at the evidence. Again, I'd spoken with the attorney in this case, and he doesn't think that the district attorneys even opened up the case in the file and even looked into the case at all. After nearly, 11 months we're going on now? Almost a freaking year since they swatted my house. This ministry ruined the property, shot out my windows, hit me in the head hit me in the face. My right eye still it's not going to ever go back to the way it was. I've been marred for life, but I don't care about my appearance. It's getting better, but it's not the same. I'm never going to be able to undo the flash concussion grenade to my face, which is now I have a big, thing in my vision and a lot of issues with my right eye because of the, flash and the concussion, the grenade and the stun. I shouldn't have been able to continue to even speak, talk, walk. I should have been taken to an emergency room and not to the county jail. So I blessed for the ability to still stand and talk and walk and get up out of bed and function. And even though it's extremely difficult, Father doesn't seem to let up. He is making it extremely hard. And although I've suffered physical, an excessive amount of physical injury, and my animals have suffered with me and others around me have suffered, they still continue to attack, and they won't do anything. Just the other day, I called again to tell them that I found what I thought was the location of my son because of just the evidence pointed. And the whole time I had been, even my last time of arrest, where they arrested me and they came and removed my Second Amendment rights because I told them I would defend myself, which I have the right under Title 18 under the 14th Amendment. These people are idiots. They don't know the laws that they are trying to enforce against me. They're idiots. They seriously are idiots. They do have no idea what they're doing. and they have no idea that how I know this constitutional right under fair trial, speedy trial, adequate counsel, under my Sixth Amendment, my Fifth Amendment to shut up. I will not apply my Miranda rights. Adequate counsel has been violated. Sixth Amendment violated. Fair and speedy trial. Call witness in my favor. They never even Mirandized me, so that's a Miranda right violation. That would get the case thrown out right there. So, like I said, it's going to either end here soon or I'm going to be a very wealthy man. And I'll figure out how to redistribute the wealth to other people. I don't need wealth. I've already lived all the life that I need to live. I would just build the ministry out. I already paid it off. I was looking for an anonymous donor to pay it in one lump sum. I didn't want a bunch of small donors because I didn't want to take anything from anybody that didn't have abundance. Remember? So I've turned the monetary off on this channel. It doesn't make any money. There's no monetary gain to make here off this channel. I'm not here to make a gain. Somebody has abundance. There's always links in the description to the Cash App, PayPal, but I paid it off. Father gave me the abundance by selling another piece of property that had already paid off. And instead of going and getting myself an attorney, I paid this ministry off. I thought that was the right thing to do. So why would I pay? I didn't SWAT the house. I didn't run over all the, kennels, the corrals, all the fencing out here. I didn't shoot out the windows. I didn't shoot my son. I didn't kidnap my daughter. Why in the hell would I pay? Why would I make you guys pay too? Because nobody donated a dime for my counsel, and it's been a year. Nobody started a GoFundMe. I'm a veteran. People start all these GoFundMes for all these causes. I wonder why nobody's even stepped in this cause and even looked into this case. As an honorably discharged Army veteran who served this country, and he served during the COVID. He stood up with the businesses. He protested his police department for not standing with the businesses. He protested the governor. He's been very involved since not a single penny came in to help me with legal counsel. Still to this day, I'm hoping, Paul, when I don't want your money, so I'm not asking you. I'm not trying to grift you. I'm just showing you where I'm at. So, showing you where the ministry's at, so you know. I don't have anything to lose. I don't have anything to gain here. I've already lived more and had bounty beyond treasure I could ever imagine just by this ministry. Has reached millions of people. Millions of people have heard the gospel because of High Desert Faith and Truth, formerly Predestined for Light. Predestined for Light TikTok channel. It was 20,000 plus the other backup channel. We used to put 1,200, 1,500 people in a live stream. Per live stream, there's 12 of you in here. You put 1,200 people in a live stream. This ministry has touched more than mega churches can touch. So I feel abundance, blessings beyond anything that I've ever could have desired for the flesh. So now I'm here to do the will of the Father. Nobody's going to stand in the way the Father's will be done. No man can take my life. As far as my fate, my destiny, and my fate are two different things. My death is already written. Won't be by my hands. They already tried to come and kill me, and I'm still here standing today. I'm a veteran, still here standing today. So winners know when to quit. You know what? This one I said I wouldn't. This one I said before they ever SWAT raided the house that I would die to keep my son from going to prison. Using my First Amendment right to speak up about my constitutional right to protect him under his Fourth Amendment, and my Fourth Amendment to be right, self-defense, secure self-defense, to defend myself, not using a Second Amendment, using my constitutional right of affirmative defense to protect myself from illegal prosecution. I know my rights. I've done this for a living. The boot has been on the foot of this jackboot thug right here. So You know, you call for a SWAT team to come out and protect the businesses for the COVID. Instead, they turn the SWAT team against you and try to kill you. So if Father wanted anything to happen, I'm not, I don't want anybody to feel, like, man, I should have done that. Father just makes it extremely difficult, like with what's going on right now. The last thing to happen in this case is that I called Josephine County because I had a very strong intuition, because I'm a Reconstructionist, that Marshall, my supposed friend who stole the silver and my passport and won't return him, has something and knew something about my son, because he had my daughter who was kidnapped by the state of Oregon and couldn't find her, and ended up going down there after he didn't show up. Yep, the secret windows. So we already went over and did the. I'm gonna take this sweatshirt off here. I'm not gonna stay on here too long. I'm just a little overwhelmed how, again, I can call Josephine County, and the last time I got arrested on the live stream, you see me saying, my son, Marshall, I point this stuff out, and the whole fucking time they knew about my son. That's that, this whole stupid bullshit with Josh, that idiot fucking cop, pig, tyrant. That's why you got a mouthful. So I came home and said, man, I can't do. I still wanted to take his pistol and beat the fuck out of him with his pistol. And that's how he came and went and got a extreme risk and took away my Second Amendment right, because I said that, because I knew these motherfuckers knew something. And guess what? I was right. I was correct. These motherfuckers knew where my son was all along, because when I called Josephine County and said, look, I think that this dude who is not giving me back my passport, which is a felony, and stole potentially 40 pounds of silver from me. He wasn't supposed to touch that, use the gold, but took that, has my daughter and my son. And they turn around and threaten me that I'm breaking the no contact order by having this police department in Josephine County, where my son is at, potentially dead in a cave, kidnapped. I have no fucking idea what's going on with him. And it turns out they know he's alive. For months and months, since December, the trial, I've been screaming foul play or something's not right. They said he went missing in September. He had been in court in October. I documented that on this channel. And then I got summons to a witness at his trial in December. In November, I showed up to his trial in December. They said he went missing back in September, when he was on the phone in October in open court. This is bullshit, and I knew it, and I knew these fucking pigs were up to something. And then when I called Josephine County and tell them, hey, what the hell is going on? Why is this guy? I want you to, he's got potentially 40 pounds of my silver. That alone is worth, looking into. But the passport, stealing my passport's a federal offense. I don't think he took this money and pawned it. I think he kept it. He's holding my son captive. They turn around and threaten me with making a no contact order, which when I spoke with Paul Palmer, the attorney, said they can't do that. He calls there and they stonewall the attorney, Paul Palmer. The attorney calls to get the transcript because he tells me that's illegal. You can't do that. He can't. And then call for, they don't even go out there. They come here and SWAT this fucking house, fuck this place up, ruin give me a concussion at 45 seconds, hit me in the face with a grenade, toss 5 concussion grenades in here over a warrant. And now they know where he's at. I called not having any idea. And I was thinking, man, these cops know something's not right. This is foul play. Something's not right. Marshall knows something. This guy stole my passport, I call and they turn and flip the script and go, well, you're breaking a no contact order if we contact him. No call for service. They don't do anything about it. And guess what? Well, I was fucking right. that these cops knew all along because, oh, well, your son's got a warrant for his arrest. Yeah, well, he's been seen as recently as February 11th. He's been seen in Grants Pass. That's right where fucking Marshall's at. The guy that I'm screaming that knows where my daughter potentially is at, who, you know, who hasn't been seen, who I was told, oh, well, she took the silver, not me, to get. She took it. And then later I find when I go there after going to Elijah's trial, he doesn't show up. I go because it's the only person I know that would know anything about Elijah. But he's been telling me since day one that Elijah's been refusing his phone calls. Elijah hasn't any contact with him. He doesn't know where Elijah's at. Come to find out, this is fucking where Elijah's at. And these cops know too. See, that's something in this case is what, you know, it's not right. None of it's right. It stinks. These cops their feds know about this case, and I know they know now with this window in this. Yep, right there down the middle is the Fed seal. Right down in the middle of this. You know, this is bullshit. To think it's been nearly almost a year since they swatted this house and not a fucking thing has been done legally. That's a violation of my Sixth Amendment, which is my right of trial, fair trial and adequate counsel under my Miranda rights, which I have been not given, and my speedy trial. Fucking year and nothing's been done, and they did it illegally. This case is insane. I mean, it's insane. I say, hey, when the last time I get arrested, because I'm like, I seen this cop and this guy's bragging about how he's going to come here and kill me. And I put him on Front Street in public. Hey, tyrant. Hey, pig. What's going on with my son? What's going on with Elijah? How come you guys haven't looked at my son's 180 hours? What the fuck? It's been almost a year since you guys swatted my house, you fucking pigs. What's wrong with you? You know, Josh, people know in this town that you follow people. Oh, he got so fucking scared. He knew he's a fucking tyrant pig. He's been stalking people out here and people know it. And so he goes and he gets a fucking extreme risk order and they come do a warrant on my house and come take the 2 weapons that I have here, which are obviously not here to shoot anybody. They were here to protect my animals. Some single shotgun and some old 308 that it can only holds 3 or 4 rounds. Fuck off, pigs. You know, I go there and tell him that and see, fuck Josh. That motherfucker, when I asked him, he came in. That's what was so frustrating. Is I knew these cops were fucking hiding something, guys. I knew these fucking goddamn pig goes outside and goes to his fucking cop car, comes back in, taxpayer fucking cop car, comes back and goes, well, your son's got a warrant for his arrest. I know, motherfucker. I'm asking you where he's at and what the fuck you been doing for the last year, asshole, pig. You live in this motherfucking town. What have you been doing about my son's 180 hours? What have you looked into? He left. He went out and he came back in, and then he goes and gets this extreme fucking risk warrant from the bad man orange red flag gun law. And yeah, because I was so frustrated when he came home. I didn't threaten him. I said, not a fucking, after that, I was just tyrant, whatever, shined him off. I came home, live stream, and said, man, I was so frustrated inside my head. I wanted a punk fuck go like that too, because I knew he'd reach for his fucking, try to shoot me. I'd grab his gun and just pistol it the fuck out of him, is what I said. It was a thought in my head. I never fucking said it to him. He went and got that off of that. I'm certain of it. It wasn't that too that I said I would protect myself. It was that incident out in public because I got harassing the police and menacing the police for going and telling Josh fucking B, whatever his bezel, buzz the fuck off. And I knew that these fucking pigs knew something. So I wasn't wrong. So I have I'm not sorry at all. And I have nothing to apologize about. I'm in public. I see this is the guy who was fucking bragging the most that they're going to come out here and kill me. So when I see him in public, and every fucking time I see him, I call them pigs. Every time I see him, I don't ever let one walk by one of them without calling him a tyrant or a pig. I even had my attorney ask me that. So when the cops, it looks like you call them, so you say that every time you see them? Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's what I do. I audit our public tyrant pigs. They're tyrants. They are commerce cops. They don't even enforce actual criminal law. Revised statute this was added after the Constitutional Republic, when it's turned into a corporation. Like they're trying to charge me now with 6 felonies. Revised statutes were added. Do I look like a fucking statute to you? Court? Look like a court? Do I look fucking dead? I'm not dead. I am here, believe it or not. They hit me in the face with a grenade. They try to kill me. Attempted murder. Absolutely. The attorney, he looked at it and he said this is obviously they had a different motive, because you weren't reaching for a gun. They were live streaming the whole thing. They knew you were live. They were live streaming. They were on your live. It says they were. They had drones over the house. As soon as you went live, they knew you were there. They knew where your location was at. They obviously, so that you are not reaching for any weapons. You were not making, you didn't even say anything to them. You were asking, Elijah, are you okay? Elijah, you're okay. And they threw a grenade and hit you in the face. Nope. That's it. The case is over right there. Fuck off, pigs. Fuck off, state of Oregon. 20-some one of you. I'm going to sue the state of Oregon for excessive force, potential attempted murder. The man who threw that hand grenade, and his commanding officer, whoever was authorized that, Ted Martin, was the one who signed off on the SWAT warrant, Special Weapons and Tactics warrant, okay? And so he will be brought back into a court, and yes, he will be tried and put on fucking accountability for his, because the whole time I was telling him this whole thing to drop this case months ago, that they didn't even Mirandize me. After swatting the house, doing all this, they did such horrible police work. They said that they had an arrest warrant for my daughter, which she was not on, which blows the whole case right there. You can't take and accost somebody's body. That is your Miranda rights. If they're going to arrest you, it has to be under Title 18. If they're going to try you, it has to be under your 6th Amendment. They can't accost your body unless they have probable cause. That has to be signed by a judge. Who and where they're going to search, they didn't have one. That's why they dropped the case against Adriana Massey in November. Yep, in November, the case was dropped against hers. And I've been telling them to drop this case the whole time. So every single moment that these people have wasted of my time, my daughter is going to be very wealthy. If she'll just put herself in front of the right attorney, any attorney, lawsuit attorney would take that case. That's a kidnapping. You can't take somebody's body without it showing probable cause, signed by a judge. They have to have that secret indictment. They didn't have that. Therefore, that's an illegal detainment. That's an illegal arrest. That's accosting her body. They put her in jail. Every moment she sat in that jail cell, had to put on fucking, stripes, all the whole thing, process. That all she'll get paid back. She's probably looking at about a $50 million or $20 to $50 million lawsuit. And they'll settle. They'll have to. They're wrong. They're dead wrong. They kidnapped my daughter that night, 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, shot my son when his hands were in the fucking air. You hear me? He's coming out, guys. He has his hands in the air. They didn't get, he has his hands in the air. What now? What now? They still shot him. They still shot him. He has nothing in his hands. He's not holding any weapons. I don't think he had his phone on him. I couldn't see his phone, obviously, like I said, it was dark, but I know he was coming out. He had his hands up, leaning out the door, telling these SWAT officers that he's coming out. He's not resisting. He's, and he has his hands in the air, and he's trying to follow the directions to do so. He's not, resisting. What now? And they shot him anyways. These fucking pigs are going to prison. Bad pigs belong in the pig penitentiary, and that's where they're going to go. So pigs don't do generally too well in jail either. So, well, anyways, it is what it is. They should have been not so foolish as to just throw a grenade and hit me in the face for only asking if my son was okay. It was being live streamed. That's what they tried to do, is they try to continue on. It's very obvious in the live stream. If you want to see the live stream, it's 16 minutes and 43 seconds. It's pulled over to the playlist on the channel, not the live stream. You're on the live, but it's on the playlist. You won't have to watch long. 45 seconds, they hit me in the face with a grenade, and I shouldn't even be able to talk. Anybody would be on the floor. I don't know how it's even physically possible for me to have been able to not. I know I'm a veteran, and I know I've been SWAT trained, certified. Maybe it's my prior, law enforcement training, and that I've had experience in this field, this line of work. But it's still very hard to watch and to imagine that this body of mine is still able to function the way that it does. They will be put accountable for either attempted murder, the SWAT officer that threw that grenade at my face, and then I do believe whoever, that 5 tear gas canisters that were thrown into the house, not thrown, they were actually shot into the house. They missed the house. They hit the side of the house. They hit the window. They hit the shutters. They hit the side of the. They were launching them in here, as many as they could get in here, to try to get me to come out and to get me. They kept calling, because if you watch on the live stream, they kept calling me. They didn't call me for years. I called the state police. Nobody would call me back. And then they call me excessively the day of the SWAT raid. That's a bunch of bullshit. And I called them on it too before I went out the door. The hell, guys? I sat here and called you, and nobody's going to call me. So what they were trying to do, somebody brought that up to me and brought it to my attention later. Again, I was concussed by a grenade at 45 seconds, less than 1 minute of getting out of bed. I'm putting my clothes on. Even when the attorney looked at this and they're launching this tear gas into the house, and he has kids, he's like, knows that I've just asked to see if my son was okay, and they just keep grenading the house with tear gas and trying to get me to come out, and then call me to try to get me to come out. They're hoping I'll be so riled up that I'll grab a gun, and that's was not ever even a thought that ever crossed my mind at all. Never once did I ever say I was going to use a gun to, it wasn't until 9 months after I knew this fucking cops knew something about where my son was at and Marshall was involved, that I called him, and they would turn around. Like I said, I called a local cop out in town on it, called him out, and what do you know? And they turn around and take my Second Amendment from me, bring a extreme risk order against me, which is a red flag gun law that I've been warning everybody on this channel, and came and arrested me 2 more warrants or 2 more felonies for harassing the pigs, police, and then menacing. I'm not a menace to society. I'm a menace to the police. I'm not harassing people in public. I'm harassing the police. So I'm interfering with the police, and I'm hindering the police. I got police charges. All my charges are my issues with the law enforcement, because you're fucking right. I'm a cock blocker, bitch. You ever heard of Bob, Big Bob cock meat sandwich? Well, that's what they were trying to get my son to eat, cock meat sandwiches, get double stuffed like a fucking quarter ride at the Kmart, rock like a rodeo horse, or that little rocket, whatever ones you want to rocket, double bump, double pump, Oreo double stuffed. Yeah. Why? My son had already done all this community service that they said he had not done, and I can prove it 50 million ways as sideways. The attorney looked at that when he was like, so he did all these hours and the 130, so he did like 3. Yeah. It's crazy what they have done in this case. So they'll pay handsomely. And what sucks is that the state of Oregon taxpayer is going to have to pay, and the county taxpayer, but it is what it is. I'm done playing Mr. Nice Guy. I'm not nice. Nice word nice means to be stupid. I ain't gonna be stupid with these people anymore. I've waited long enough. It's been almost a year since they swatted this house. If they do not make a move this week, I'm going to file lawsuits and start the lawsuit process. It is what it is. You're supposed to be meek. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not boast. It is charitable. And I think I've shown and done all those things. So there's where I'm at, and I'm making it known. Again, I did last time, and they did what they did. They can make whatever moves they want. They keep making the wrong moves is what they keep making. So it's okay. Father will pour out a just measure. And I don't think I have any issue with I have actually been given a couple people now have come to me with some attorneys that they definitely believe that they'll want this lawsuit. There are hundreds of millions of dollars in lawsuit on this case between myself, the ministry, these dogs, this it's ridiculous. There's a lot of people involved. This case goes back 5 years, and every one of these people is bonded in this case. Well, there's only one civilian, and he's probably bonded. One or two like straight up civilians, I believe, that are in this case, you know, that are criminally culpable, and criminally liable for damages, and they have bonds, and because they work in community and public servants. So that's where the avenue, if they don't stand down, it doesn't matter. That's where I'm going with it. So Paul, the attorney that's currently in the case, is filed motion, or put together the motion for change of venue, is filling out a dossier right now, and that dossier is putting together all the evidence to show why that I will sue the county, the state, if they do not stand down, drop immediately the no contact orders, and remove those no contact orders, and remove all 6 felony charges against me, all charges against Elijah. I don't know what Elijah, if he's going to sign something or not. That's not up to me. They can't do that on him. They can't say, well, if he signs and you sign, his case is separate. If I sign, I will sign that I won't sue the county and the state for a civil lawsuit if they will stand down. If not, they will have a lawsuit filed against them coming next week. I will start that process, and I have a couple attorneys in mind, and I've already spoken with Paul, the attorney in this case, and said, find a civil counsel attorney, civil lawsuit attorney that you're comfortable working with, because there is going to be several lawsuits in this case that you're going to have to be a part of as the attorney in this case. So if you have one ahead of time that you'd like to work with, please secure that now. Otherwise, I'm already working on the side, because I've been standing by trying to let this county stand down, because I don't want to sue. I don't want to spend any more time dealing with this case. I want to go farm in Ecuador. That's it. I have the ministry here paid off. I'll deal with this later. It's not going to grow legs. It's not going anywhere. The tax burden on it is low. If I come make improvements, it'll raise, but it's okay. It's going to become part of this, going to get donated and put under the name of the ministry, so it won't be taxable anyway. So lots of things coming in the wings. I do think that hopefully very soon that I will be able to move forward. It's been nearly a year. I haven't seen my son. I sit here every day as a dad, and I wonder, where is he at? And now I know he's down here with this Marshall guy, and he lied to me the whole time, said he didn't talk to my son at all when he was lying to me. So it's very hard to sit there and think, is he okay? Did he ditch me? Some people, well, maybe they said, whatever, just leave the old man, let him do what he is, and they took your gold and silver, and they don't care. And somebody said, hey, maybe they're just telling you Elijah has a warrant, and he already took charges, and he's out, and they're that's why nobody's talking to you. They offed you, and they want you. You're the big fish in the case. Elijah was just they're after you. You're the one who stood up against the president. You're the one who stood up against, has been currently, and has stood up against Obama, and has been blogging, and you're just the biggest pain in the ass in this town, and the farmers despise you, and the law enforcement despise you. You've really pissed off all the wrong people. So you think that's going to stop me? It's not going to stop me. You're going to have to take the heartbeat, the last breath of this. I will not. And if I die here once again on this battlefield, I hope that Father will bless me and reincarnate me as a soldier, so I will fight again, because this is what I do. I'm a veteran. You cannot tell me to stop defending this country. I took an oath to the Constitution to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. My DD 214 says honorable discharge does not end my tour of service. ETS, Echo Tango Sierra, it's not over for me. Soldier, always a soldier. I'm a soldier of God before all things. And again, once again, I hope you'll reincarnate me. If I have to continue this, I will continue until this eternally is finished. So until then, I will walk using my First Amendment until they take that. They've stripped my Second Amendment from me, taken every weapon I have, all my ammunition I had. Shoot, my Fourth Amendment. I can't even protect my dogs. Can't even secure my house, papers, persons, and effects. I've gotten zero assistance, zero help, zero legal counsel. Nobody stepped in, started a GoFundMe. Father's given me the strength. Hallelujah. Father's the one who's kept this channel up and going. Thank you. And then all the people who support and stay here and are part of the ministry has been my major support system. So I have not gone, off and lost my mind and been upset because, and I've kept faith anchored in that faith and been able to continue to share, this experience. Although I apologize for the cursing, I had the ministry for thousands of hours without one single curse word. It wasn't until nearly a week they came in and swatted this house and hit me in the face with a grenade till the cursing from the old veteran in me started flying around. So I apologize once again. Once the state of Oregon, once Lake County stands down, drops the charges, I won't curse anymore. I do want to apologize, but it is what it is. It's this time that I'm in, and I'll work through it. And hopefully you guys that are following this can filter off any of this, potty mouth of mine. So again, I appreciate it. I'm going to end it there. Like I said, I'm just so hard to get up every day knowing my son I might not ever talk to him again. He might not want to talk to me. I don't know why. That wouldn't make any sense at all, but who knows? You got to think about all the possibilities. Here I am facing, that's fine. I said in the beginning, if I went to prison and he didn't, I would be okay with that. I would trade places with him. So if that's the case, oh well, that's fine. If you look at what pastor does when I'm in confinement, I just teach. The hard part is my back has been broken a couple times. I don't have any access to cannabis that I use, oils and stuff, and it's really hard to lay down. Other than that, after I don't sleep for about a week in confinement, and then I start getting a little bit of sleep, a couple hours here, a couple hours there, and I'm normally all right after that. I'm really sore, but it's okay. Whatever happens is God's will. My death is already written. No man can take that without Father already knowing the day and who and when and where and why. So I think that's why they came here with nefarious reasons. It didn't work out like Father thought. So I am so blessed to still be here and share this experience with you guys. So again, I have no vengeance towards any man, but accountability is something that I'm hoping that will happen to this Oregon state, and more so for this little township that I live in. These people are been run ragged by this police department out here for decades. We're known for having a corrupt police department. I'd hope with this case that this will end and they'll clean house and they'll take this thing from Judge Vandenberg all the way down to this Josh Bezel clown cop, all these deputies, and they'll start out with a whole different respect out here for this community. Because I still love this township that I live in. It's a neat town and it's got a neat energy, and it's just a beautiful place, very quiet, very open, and I can lay anywhere on this property and I can be and sup with Father. I can hear that still voice inside my head, and you couldn't put a price on that. And even if I suffer, I'm so blessed to be in the country and be away from the noise and the Broadway and the big, he says to go to a dark place in secret and pray, because he wants you to get away from the lights and the busy and the sirens so you can hear that voice. You know what I'm saying? So I feel blessed no matter what happens that I have that ability. So no matter how tough he makes this path, remember the word is hados. That means to be in the same narrow way as Christ. So he went through a very difficult path. They beat him and they lashed him and they hung him on a tree. He carried what was known as a yoke. He didn't carry a cross. You might want to research Roman torture. It's quite alarming how little people know about the crucifixion of the Hamashiach that paid that bride price for his, in beard blood he paid, brothers and sisters, on tables of stone. He wrote that in the book of Colossians 2:14. Apologize I didn't get to do more teaching tonight. I'll be back and we'll go back to the gospel as always. I was supposed to be talking again, and I did a little better. Yeah, well, he taunted him and he tortured him and he tempted him is what he did. And remember, Christ, he only drank water. He went 40. You ever think you had it bad? There's a reason why he doesn't want us to eat certain things just for sake of better health, but the reason why that fasting, I'm not giving any diet recommendations on the channel. I won't get any medical strikes or anything, but if you can go without eating a candy bar, or a Monster Energy drink, or hitting the Starbucks or the Piggly Wiggly or the In-N-Out burger, I don't know, whatever, and without turning in a total monster, that men and women can't do that today. They're so sugared up with these holidays and extra breads and baked goods, and like baking hot cross top buns to Semiramis, the wife of Satan. That's your sugar rituals. So between that, frappuccinos and all the different breads and again, starches and pastas, and everybody's just sugar fights. So people don't make it very long. People are very diabetic and have very problems with their blood sugar. Wouldn't make it very long in kind of a lights out scenario, where that's why I put up a lot of extra oil, brothers, sisters. This time I want to feed foolish virgins. Father doesn't want them to get fed, and then it won't happen. But I'm putting up that extra oil because, like how Christ, there was extra bread and extra fish. He always provides. He does. There's a reason why he said, be girded in my service. That's the word believe. That's an action word. It's not a thought in your head. To believe in Christ isn't a thought in your head. It's a verb, okay? But he said, girded in my service, have your lamps trimmed, but have extra oil. And remember, that oil, as he talks about, is that light is the lamp. Remember, that's that oil, that's your vessel. The eye, he talks about that eye being the light of the body, the vessel, the lamp. If the eye is filled with light, then the whole vessel is filled with light. If the eye is filled with darkness, then the whole vessel. They don't mix like oil and water. So please remember, you don't like lukewarm, you better find one side of the spectrum to be on. He comes back with eyes of fire. He either wants you to be hot or cold, innocent as a child, or he'll vomit you from his mouth. And that's because you're toxic to him. Your body will expel something when it will cause you to have an infection or cancer, or yes, it does. It'll make a highway. That's what Father does. You might want to study autoimmunity and study nutrition. Father created an amazing process within each and every one of us. Just the system on how our body processes toxicity. And it's pretty amazing that we're always dying and that we're always regenerating. The stable elements on the periodic table on the outside, the unstable, and that if we were stable, we would die. Yes, so we're always in a changing, hados, we're always narrowing, we're always hados, narrow. It's a process, it's a long, long walk. He says we have to endure to the end. If you want to be saved, that Greek word is S-O-Z-O, sozo. And that means to be picked up, carried, lifted from beginning point to an ending point, healed, and he will heal us. That's right. All those pains that you feel, he will heal them. All those people who wronged you, he will right them. He says, let vengeance be mine, saith the Lord. So be meek, not weak, brothers, sisters. Speak up, please. In the book of Ephesians, he said, 5, do not partake in unfruitful works of darkness. You'll know them not by their cover. Do not judge them by their cover. Judgment is part of this process. We are to judge with righteous judgment, brothers and sisters. You don't walk in front of anybody without that opportunity to be charitable, judging in righteous judgment, loving, that is 2 John and 6, to walk and follow in the commandments of the Father. And he says, judge with righteous judgment, but do not condemn a man. Do not judge them by their cover. You'll know them by their fruit. Okay? So that is what we are to do. Put the narrow way on them. That's why love is patient, love is kind, it does not boast, it is meek, and most of all, it is charitable. Are you patient with Father too? Not just with others, and yourself too. Give yourself time, charitable with yourself. Give yourself thanks sometimes for this strength and ability. Father gives you that, but that you've done it. In a sense of compliment. Always give glory to Father and Shiloh first, but all those things, remember, it's not just to others. When the word is agape, A-G-A-P-E, agape, the highest form of love is agape love, and that is to walk, 2 John and 6. I'm a veteran. I know these things, to walk and follow in the commandments. And he commands us, who shall ever come after me? Let them deny themselves, take their cross up daily, and follow after me. So you can't set it down. See, you must endure to the end to be saved. That's the Greek word sozo, salvation. So no matter how difficult he makes it, brothers and sisters, that's part of the disciples. Pleasure is worse than the pain. I can tell you as a veteran, they used to tell me in the United States Army, listen here, soldier, weakness, well, pain is just weakness trying to leave your body. Move out and draw fire. All right. Much love, brothers and sisters. Thank you for your ear and the hearing ear and the seeing eye. Father, remember his bride is a tiny flock. The word is oligos, O-L-I-G-O-S. It's a Greek word, which means it's a puny number. Although God only loved the house of Aaron and the Levites under the Old Testament. Remember? Jews and Gentiles under this covenant. Isn't that beautiful? Go tell everybody you know. Hallelujah. One white, one black, one brown, one red, and one yellow was all flesh under this covenant. Hallelujah. Yeah, baby. But not everybody. He's an all-loving God, but he don't love everybody. Remember, he said, fear not, oligos flock. So his bride is a small bride. It's a little bit of everybody this time. Not just the house of Aaron and Levi, but Jews and Gentiles, man and woman. We're all equally yoked. Pride is one above another. He said, I am the hados. I am the way that leads to the straight gate. Theolobo, to be pushed from both sides, hated by your friends and family because you won't do these traditions of men, celebrations. Theolobos, to be pinched down because you got that grip so you'll fit through that straight gate. Narrow is the path that leads to the straight gate, brothers and sisters. I'll come back and try to give you some more of this next time. I just always love sharing the gospel. It's what I'm here to do. He said, be charitable. You think I just want to hold all this in knowing this? That'd be foolish of me not to share this. It wouldn't be righteous of me to have all this blessing of this ministry and have this and not share this. And iron sharpens iron to help you refine what I have. And I'm still learning. I'm always in a learning process. I have my concordance right here. I have my lexicon. I have my interlinear Textus Receptus, and I'm always in a study mode. Hallelujah. He just made me that way. He did. Well, no, he created me. My dad made me. My mom made me. But my father, he created me. So all glory to the Creator. All glory to the King, the Most High. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. The one who holds the inheritance to the church. He said, I come quickly. Let no one take your crown, brothers and sisters. Let no one take crown. All right. That's the inheritance. That's the wedding. The wedding feast of the lambs. Harper's harp. Those 10 chords. Can you hear them? Very interesting. All right. Thanks again for the hearing ear and the seeing eye. To lift the veil, to remove the cover. I am Revelation, Pastor Revelation. I minister this apocalypse. Yes, I do. That's what I've birthed here to declare the line. I'm a magi. I wouldn't have all these celestial markers and marked my body with these and teach you with these celestial, yes, clock. There's a clock up there. What do you know? So you know what celestial time, so you'll be ready. Have your lamps trimmed, be burning bright. Nobody knows the day or the hour. Not the angels, the messenger, angelos, messenger, same word in heaven, right? That is not above your head, by the way. The firmament declares the handiwork. The heavens declare the glory of God. You might want to read the book of Psalms. Oh man, everything, every problem you ever had, every answer is right there in that book for you. Let me give you one more gem before you go, brothers and sisters. Grace and Truth Ministries. He was on today. Go see Jim Brown. He has no cursing. I'll get over it soon. But go see Jim Brown at Grace and Truth Ministries. This is High Desert Faith and Truth Ministries. That is Grace and Truth Ministries. Bring a pen and paper. It's not a church. The Most High does not dwell in temples made by hands. So this is a classroom. You'll learn. Actually, you'll unlearn and relearn. So that's what I'm always still trying to refine. It's a refiner's fire, like fine gold and silver. They sold Christ for 30 pieces of silver, by the way. Interesting. Gold is an indicator of chaos too, brothers, sisters. Always has been. Safe haven asset. Gold and silver has never gone to zero in the last 8,000 years. So gold is an indicator of chaos. Gold is at an all-time high. Look at that barometer, what it's telling us. Be prepared. Wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. Right now, you could probably go to the store and buy TP for your bunghole. You know that? Without fighting anybody for that. Pretty good time. Don't be down there fighting people for the last box of macaroni, bagged or canned, whatever they've got down there at your Piggly Wiggly or the Safeway or wherever you shop for your. Start growing your own. I got some of my first eggs for the year. These ladies are laying eggs out here. Nothing like getting laid, man. Let me tell you. Buy my chickens. I get eggs. I got some green eggs. So I'm not married, so careful. I got ladies out there. But anyways, start being self-sufficient. Become your own power company. The power went out there earlier because we had a little bit of a cloudy day and I didn't keep up with the solar panels today. But please be wise. And that wise is to have that extra oil, as I said, so that you can feed maybe foolish virgins under this. We'll see. He said, be charitable. So maybe we will, instead of the door slamming shut and those foolish virgins last time, like Noah, bam, that door slammed in their face. You know, like I said, there was extra bread and extra fish. I don't know how. I'm not going to question it, but Father always provides. The scepter shall not depart from Judah till Shiloh returns. He provided a mediator. Don't rip him down from that tree, that covenant he made. Please walk and follow in his commandments. Pastor Revelation, please hit that thumbs up button right there. That'll help. If you can, leave a comment on this video if you would like. That'll help. Somebody can talk about what you saw in the video. I'm getting some comments. I do appreciate that here and there. And if you want to leave a monetary donation, that's not required ever. It's just sit there in the box. If you have abundance, there's a Cash App and a PayPal, but I don't want your money. I'd rather have time if you have that, because you can print money if you're good enough at it, and you can make, but you can't make more time, and you can't print time. So I thank you for that, Pastor Revelation. Welcome to the new age. Welcome to the last book. Welcome to Revelation. Whoa.